Today's lesson, the history of basketball, taken from the unit of basketball, will be taught to a Form 5 class of 8 girls and 4 boys. This lesson will be taught online via Zoom. All credit will be given to all authors, music videos, and person who participated in the aid and development of this lesson. The resources used in this video are a laptop, speakers, Zoom platform, Kahoot, and YouTube. For the previous knowledge, students would have seen or partake in a game of basketball in their community or on television. Concept statement. History of basketball should be known to people as they should be aware under the circumstances by whom and how it was developed and played. It also teaches the young mind the importance of basketball. I develop lesson objective in 3 domains. Cognitive 1, list at least 3 rules of the sports, remembering. Cognitive 2, explain how the sport has started, understanding. And for the affective domain, work corporately in a group to complete given tasks, analyzing. Good day, everyone. Today, once again, today we'll be talking about basketball, the history of basketball. And with respect to the rule, I will be taking care of the rule. From your names, I already took off your names already. And today class will be recorded. We'll be doing the topic of basketball theory, history, and the rules. And as I said before, it will be recorded. No need to be scared or anything, because the recording is from me and I will be judged and not you all, right? However, I encourage you all to be very much interactive. Anyone have any questions before I start? Okay. All right, so when I ask questions, just unmute your mic and talk to me, right? So I'm gonna start off with a short video. Just you let me know if you see any video, right? And here.
Basketball is one of the most popular sports.
Right, students, you all see and hear a little?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Basketball is one of the most popular sports in the entire world. But who actually invented it? Let's find out on today's episode of Colossal Question. Unlike most other popular pro sports today, basketball can actually trace its origin back to one single person, a guy named James Naismith.
Right, so all I require you all to do while this video is going on is to, well, you already have your book and your pen and thing out, I expect. Just take down little notes, right? Like, for example, the guy invented James Smith, the date, any little thing that stood out to you that you didn't know, just take little notes. It's not much, right? And then we will discuss it. All right, continuing.
Naismith. Back in 1891, Mr. Naismith was fresh out of college and working as a gym teacher at a local YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts. That winter was particularly cold and snowy, so his class was stuck inside for gym every day for months. And over time, the kids began to get rowdier and rowdier. So, James Naismith's boss gave him a project. Try and solve the problem by inventing a brand new game the kids can play indoors to help them drain all that pent up energy.
Not sure why it's like.
Given a few guidelines, the game couldn't take up too much space, it couldn't be too rough, and it had to help keep the school's track athletes in shape. So, James Naismith started devising his brand new sport from scratch, and he began with the ball. He decided a hard ball like a baseball or golf ball was too dangerous, so he modeled it on a soft soccer ball instead. Next, he raised the goal well above the players' heads. This forced them to softly lob the ball into the goal instead of hurling it, which took skill and was safer. Naismith decided to call his new sport basketball because he fashioned the goals out of old beach baskets. According to Naismith, most of the fouls called in the first game were for running with the ball or for tackling an opponent. After every single score, the game would pause while someone fished the ball out of the basket with a ladder and the ball would be tipped off at the center of the court. The first rules also didn't include the dribble, the only way a player could move the ball. So players quickly invented a strategy of passing to themselves by tossing the ball in the air while they run around. By 1905, the original peach basket design was replaced with the nets we know today. Other innovations, like the shot clock, the slam dunk, and the three-pointer, have all helped turn basketball into the mega popular sport we love today. So the next time your favorite player knocks down a game-winning three, you can thank James Naismith for his snowed-in stroke of genius.
All right, students. So that was basically an introduction to the history of basketball, how it came up, and now we are going to discuss even further, all right, basketball. So before I start off with the notes, I'm going to ask you all a few questions from the video because I suppose most of you all had already taken your notes and whatnot, right? So the first question, simple. How many of you all play basketball? You all can indicate by raising your hands in the chat. So I'm looking out for your hand to be raised. Or you could just unmute your mic and let me know. So tell me, how many of you play basketball? No one? How about how many of you seen a game of basketball before? All right, Kaijal, very good. Devika, Aliyah, right? They actually see the game. Um, any of you all know about basketball before? Or play a game, probably shoot a ball over through the hoop, anything like that already? Keep your hands up. Anyone else? All right. So about three of you all. No problem. Could put on your hand now. All right. So my next question is, what was the name of the guy who invented basketball? Anyone could tell me if they remember from the video, what was the name of the guy that invented basketball?
James Naismith.
Very good, Kiara. James Naismith Smith. Right. And another question I have for you all. What year did he invented basketball? Anyone can tell me what year he invented basketball? Wait, don't remember that part. Let me see.
So I think it's 1981. I don't know to be sure.
You're actually close. It's 1891. Yeah, I thought it alongside you. 1891 was the year that he invented basketball. Right? And an easy question for you all. Let me see who was also paying attention. In the video, he was talking about the different type of ball with golf ball and basketball and soccer ball and well, I think I remember the type of he was talking about. But what was the first ball they used in the game of basketball? Anyone remember? Anyone?
I think it was a football.
Yes, correct. It's actually a football, and the Americans usually call it a soccer ball. Right? So all the answers you all get correct. Very good. Right? I didn't hear any response from Parvati and Jorel. So the next other questions will be towards them. All right, so we're going into the PowerPoint now. So Dr. James Nelson Smith invented the game in 1891, right? He was a basketball coach of Kansas. He was fresh out of college, as they said. He was born on the 6th of November, 1861, died November 28, 1939. He was a Canadian American physical education teacher, sports coach, and an innovator, right? And there's a picture of him here. And what really from the video, what really happened is that remember he was a PE teacher, you could say, and he have a little auditorium, just like what we have in school. And the children couldn't go outside, so obviously, if you all are in the students' place, you all may be a little unruly too, because you want to go outside, you want to play, you might be frustrated, right? And I think it was his principal or HOD or something like that talked to him about it, so and give him a project for 2 weeks to come up with a game. And I sure your PE teacher before me or PE teacher in primary school will probably know who actually get to play a game with you all. I sure they created some games with you all or modified a game with you all already. I sure you all could probably name some games as well. You all ever play like dodgeball and a modified game of football already? Anyone? Right, casual. You could unmute your mic and answer say yes or no as well. Right, so I sure you all play games. Sometimes you may even invent your own game. For example, you may not have a football and you might see some students put two shoes as the goal and kicking a bottle across the field, or something, children like to be inquisitive as well with their own game. So Dr. James Smith came up with this game. He didn't have any rules to say. As the objective of the game was basically to pass the ball around, similar to netball at that time, because they didn't have the bounce pass, the chest pass, and people doing any kind of certain passes and whatnot. They was basically just throwing the ball in the air, catching it back and running, because you couldn't run with the ball. So that's what they was doing. But afterwards, he came up with 13 rules, and we'll discuss that a little later on. But the game really, he he didn't really do much thinking, right, on rules running yet. He just wanted his students to enjoy themselves, and they was enjoying themselves, as you could see. Um, there are some flaws in the game, right? And I'm sure some of you all could tell me some of the flaws in the game. And I want you all to think outside the box. Think what were some of the flaws that would have changed, that you would have changed in that game that he created. Anyone? Anyone notice the flaws that he created in the game and we could change it? Jarrell, any flaws you pick up? Let me ask you a question. So,
So you
Jarrell,
heard me?
yeah, here, no.
Alright. Floors was the had a basket and I take a ladder to climb so
Very
that
good.
could have the floor.
Yes, because every time you score a hoop, you're going to get a lot of climb up there. That ain't making no sense, right? So that was one of the flaws. Very good to pointing that out. And his solution to that later on, like a few years after, I think, he ended up cutting out the bottom of the basket so the ball could pass through. And then obviously they modified and put an iron ring and now they actually have the hoop and whatnot. So that was one of the flaws. What is another flaw? What about the ball? You all find the ball look good? The soccer ball? Anyone got me a flaw with the ball? What might be the problem with the ball? Parvati? Any flaw you notice with the ball? What do you think about the ball? It's better than a golf ball, a basketball? Anyone? All right, well, let me help you out. So for the ball, remember, I'm sure you all probably try bouncing a football already. And you notice a football don't really have that bounce. You don't really hear that song. When you bounce a basketball, you hear that kind of satisfying song, bouncing nice. And when it have air, you actually hear that compression when you bounce it just coming straight up to your chest height. You don't really get that bounce from a football. And the grip and everything. So that could be another flaw. So beside the basket, the ladder, the ball, all that are little flaws, and all that change later on. All right, so let me look at the basket now. All right, so as Gerald pointed out, this would have been a major problem. Every time they score, you had to climb up. right? And the first two baskets that they used was pitch baskets, right? And they hung the basket on a balcony. So a balcony is somewhat like a gallery. So they just hang the two baskets there, and people were to shoot from wherever into there, right? By 1906, the basket was replaced by metal basket with holes in the bottom, right? And by 1913, you see the difference in time, huh? So how long it take? And by 1913, hoops were a hoop with a net was invented. And anyone knows why they might put a net with the hoop? Anyone? Like why? Because I want you all thinking outside the box. I want to see you all thinking and like why you might use a net. Because a hoop will basically just be like a ring, like one ring. But why you think a net might be required? Anyone
So
want to?
it probably come through more smoothly.
Very
I would
good.
say.
And in a downwards motion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when you have a hoop here, and the females who play netball already could tell you, yep, yes, or boys who play netball as well. So if you're from a distance and you shoot to the hoop, right? Sometimes I hit the ring, and after hitting the ring, it don't fall straight on. It might fall away. It might fall this way, right? With the net now, it kind of cushion the ball and let it fall down straight downwards. So that is why you have the net as well. And sometimes some people might shoot so fast, you may not even know if it went in or it didn't went in the hoop. So the net actually there to show you, well, yes, it passed through, right? So that's our next advantage of the nets. Um, the first ball that they use, as you all answered previously, yes, it was a soccer ball, something like this, and yeah, they had this little sewing thing in the middle, right? In 1849, right, when the actual basketball was invented, the basketball was slightly smaller, about 30 inches in diameter, right? And A.G. Spadlin was the person that invented developed the basketball. Because what happened, Mr. Nazar Smith went to A.G. Spadlin to help him, to tell him about the situation, and this was the first ball he invented. The soccer ball was some similar to this, and this was how the actual first basketball looked like. This was the actual first basketball. The soccer ball would have been like this, and the basketball similar, but it had more bounce. So remember, if you look at the basketball today, it's still being developed by Spadlin Company, right? And this was the first ball they ever invented in basketball, right? And the year was 1849. Very important date, because just to go back, Mr. James Naismith invented the game in 1840, sorry, 1891, right? And then 3 years after, they invented the basketball, because all that time they was using what? A soccer ball. All right. And now we're going to look at the game itself on what is basketball. So as you all know, it is a team sport. It's not just one person can sport or one person can play. Basketball is a team sport played by two teams, right? And those of you who watch basketball will see a lot of players on the bench. It's have so much players, but on the field, only 5 players are allowed. So it's 5 players per team. So 5 players on this side and 5 players on the other side, right? So and that is basically the layout of the thing, right? They are on a rectangular court, right? Most of the courts are wood, like a figure what you call the wood court on them a laminate kind of flooring, right? And the objective of the game is to shoot the ball through the hoop, and the hoop is about 18 inches in diameter. That is about 46 centimeters, and they mounted about a height of 10 feet. So the hoop is usually about 10 feet, and they have backboards, right? And I noticed I missed out the backboard, right? I missed out this backboard I want to talk to you all about as well. Right, so the backboard as well. In 1893, right, a lot of spectators used to be interfering with basketball, right? and they first constructed a backboard out of wire mesh. Let me tell you all something about this, right? This is very important as well. Remember the game when James Naismith created this game, right? He had two pitch baskets and they used to be hanging on the balconies. On the balconies, there would be crowds and people looking onto the game. And I'm sure you all probably know what a balcony is or have an idea, right? So the balcony is like the gallery, and you're hanging the basket from there, or the hoops. People used to put their foot by it. People might put their hands by close to there, and their hands or their foot, the ball might hit there, and it might obstruct the ball from going in the hoop. So that used to be a little problem, especially with the crowds and whatnot. Because remember that the first game they now created and whatnot, right? So what happened? They created a backboard. That is the square thing here. And the first backboard they created was out of wire mesh. Then they make one out of wood. So the wood would have been like this. And now backboard are make out of glass. If you watch the international games now, they make out of a nice strong glass that wouldn't really break that easily, right? Some people in the stores actually see some backboards make out of fiberglass as well. Some still make out of board, but the one for the international games and most of the big games are made out of glass. And glass is actually a good thing as well, right? The only side, the problem with the glass is if something would like come at the swing or you get a lot of force, it might break. But they make it strong, right? So you all have any questions so far? So just to recap, right? We watch a video on basketball. We look at the guy who invented basketball. His name is Dr. James Naismith, 1891. All right. We talk about the two-pitch basket. They were the first basket that were used to play basketball. We look at the different years. They was replaced by metal rings and then hoops. We talk about the backboard and why they created the backboard. We also look at the first basketball. All right. Remember they was using a soccer ball all the time, and then later on they started created the first basketball, which was invented in 1894. And we talk about what is basketball, how much players make up the team, right? The size of the hoop, and all these things. So you all have any questions for me? Anyone? Any questions? You all good?
Nah, so everything's straightforward so far.
All right, nice. So now I'm trying to look at the time at this time, out if I have the 10 minutes. I don't want to start this game and we run out of time. Anyways, so now is game time. All right, so everything we did before, we are going to be tested now. All right, and then we're going to come back and talk about the rules of the game. All right, the rules straightforward, right? But this game is basically Kahoot. Anyone play Kahoot before?
No.
All right. I am assuming a lot of you all are using your laptop as well as your cell phone, or some of you all are using one device alone. Anyone have access to more than one device?
Yes, sir.
All right. So those of you who are access to just one device, we will try our best to make it work. I had problems with other classes when I used this application because what happened, they would have to switch from tab to tab. And if they're not using Google Meet, usually, right, they have a little lag in between, right? So what will happen, you all see my screen now clearly, right? You all seeing the screen here?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
So what will happen when I start the game is basically going to be like this. All right. What is basketball? That could be one of the questions. And on the screen, so here might be like, what is basketball? And here will be 4 different answers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each answer have a different color. So one might be the definition, one might be a fake definition, one might be another fake definition. So what you'll have to do is click on the correct answer. Not on my screen, but on your screen. Because when on your screen, you'll just see the 4 colors. So I'm going to show you all now. So you all will have to do this for me. You'll have to go on Kahoot right? .it or just Kahoot IT, right? You're searching up this and you will get this. Tell me if you all get it already. When you click on it, they will ask for a game pin. You all get this page? Kahoot asking for a game pin.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So I'm going to get the game pin for you all right now. So you all just have to enter the game pin that I give you all and you all will be getting access to the game. So I'll load in the game pin for you all here. Right. So here what's going to happen, right? Mute this. Right. So you all are required to enter this game pin, enter the tab you open, right? You enter in my game pin, and when you enter, I will see a name come up. So you just put in your first name, right? By the time that is happening, I am going to end the Zoom meeting and make another Zoom meeting because I don't want to run out of time during the game because that would obstruct the entire game, right? I guess then we probably have about a 10 minutes or a 9 minutes remaining. And I know this game might take up some time. So I'm going to end the meeting and send back the link one time to you all on Google Classroom. So by the time, just let me send the game pin to you all, and you all will just try to enter the game by a while, and I'm going to send the new meeting to you all, the new link.
Yes, sir.
Right? So by the time, try to join the Kahoot, and I'm going to send the new Zoom to you all. Because remember, you have to use our next Zoom link in order to use up the time. Yeah, Kajal, questions? Kajal? All right, let me send it for you quickly, right? Record, share screen. All right, so I start back to share my screen. You all see my screen. I have 4 you all already in the meeting. Let me make sure everyone come in the Zoom first before I start the game. Right, so Jarrell, Devika, Parvati, in the game itself, let me see who's here. Kajal, where's Kajal? Kajal, Jarrell, Devika, Kira missing from the Zoom, as well as Kajal. All right, Kira is coming, right? And just Kajal waiting on. All right, nice. You have everybody. All right, students. So you all can unmute. Let me know, and I'm gonna talk to you all about the how to use this application. All right. So Aliyah, right? Once you come in our audio. All right. So students, you all hear me? Just indicate, please.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I explained the game to you all already, and you all know what to do. So you all looking at my screen, and once my screen asks a question, you all click on your screen and click the answer. All right. So everyone ready to start? Anyone still want some time before we start? Everyone ready? Just indicate for me, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, now taking out yes for everybody, right? All right, so let's begin. Remember this game, take your time, answer, right? We want you to get correct. The speed is also make you get more points. Who answer first, get more points, but if you answer first wrong, you won't get any points. So it's best to answer the correct thing first. All right, so I'm gonna start now. Wait, where Leah went? All right, Kaijal, Devika, Parvati. Aliyah, come off the game. Aliyah, you getting through? What happened? I know students when they're using one device and then they get trouble. So I guess I'll just work with the five, right? All right, students, let's go. If there's anything, we could play it again. All right, ready? Basketball history. First question. 3, 2, 1, start. You all are required to pick the answer on your thing. So let's say the answer is green, yeah, orange, whichever. They click the correct answer. So everyone get it correct. So you all know the game. Very good. Kiara is on top. Alia is right. Sorry, Jarell is right under. All right, come on, let's go. Next question. 6 more questions. True or false? Basketball is a team sport. True or false? Six of you all get it correct. Very good. Kiara is still on top. Next question. What was the first ball used in basketball? Remember, the faster answer is the more points you get. One person for volleyball. I feel a mistake. Come on, Jarell. You're right behind. Come on, do fast. True or false? Let's go. Pitch basket was the first basket used in basketball. True or false? Very good. Gerald went straight down. He didn't answer. Devika has the highest answer streak. Very good, Devika. True or false? Basketball is a team sport played by 2 teams of 5 players on a rectangle court. Everyone got that correct. Excellent. Here is still on top. The rest of you all, Kai, Jill, Devika, Parvati, you all are not far behind, you know. Even Jarell, you're right there. Come on. 1906, pitch basket was replaced with metal basket. True or false? Come on, time's running out. One more to answer. All right, one person didn't answer there. Probably got some connectivity issue. All right, scoreboard. Last question. All right, this is the question that will determine if Kira is going to stay on top. Kaijal could take over. All right, so let's see. Even Devika could take over everyone. So let's see. The first basketball was created by A.G. Spartan and Bros in what year? This is a nice question. Wow. Only 2 got that correct. I catch you most of you. Let me see who went up now.
Sir,
At third place.
something weird.
Devika, Korea, and Surya first place now. Kaijal,
Ah,
well done.
like, abad.
Runner up. Jarell and Parvati, not bad. You all did good. Let's go with the feedback. I would allow you all to play again, but due to time, we got to do that on a different day or something. All right, so let me see the full reports. This will actually show you all which question was the most challenging. And I know number 7 would have been the most challenging, so I leave it as that place. So I could see the dark horse overtake. And I wouldn't lie, Viveka was doing well, very well, and Kajal just take over with that question. All right, so looking at it here, remember the game was invented in 1891 and the ball was created 3 years after. So which will be 1894. 2 of you all get it correct. 2 didn't answer because they was probably confused. They didn't know what to do. 1 person said the year it was created. 1 person just wasn't sure, and this one wasn't sure. So, I mean, it's our learning experience. We are all have to learn. So you all know now, you all should know now, 1894, first basketball created. All right, so you can take note of that. The rest of the question was clearly well done. All right, and you all could go back and check your own mistakes and whatnot. Did you all enjoy the game? Students, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Any question on the game? I know Viveka was trying real hard to win. She was already in top. But just that question messed her up. All right, then. So let's go back to the PowerPoint now. So we go looking at the 13 rules. Guys, one thing you all need to know, I uploaded this PowerPoint onto Google Classroom. So the 13 rules here is basically more is very much explaining the rules, right? To an extent, and have a good explanation for each rule, right? So it have 13 rules here, and it have like about 3 lines per explanation for each rule. And I went and I get these here, which is more easy to understand. So this sentence is quite shorter and straight to the point. So I will go through these 13 rules here and then show you all a video to get a better idea on the rules. All right, so the first one is the ball may be thrown with one or both hands. Second one, the ball may be but never with the fist or foot. Third, a player cannot run with the ball. The player must throw it from the spot on which he catches it. Fourth, the ball must be held by the hands. Fifth, no shouldering, holding, pushing, striking, tripping in any way of an opponent. Sorry. 6, a foul is striking at the ball with the fist. 7, if either side makes 3 consecutive fouls, it shall count as a goal for the opponent. All right. Number 8, a goal shall be made when the ball is thrown or bat from the ground into the basket. 9, when the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown in with the first person touching it. 10, the umpire shall be the judge of the man and shall note the foul. 11, the referee shall decide when the ball is in play in bounds to which side it belongs. 12, the time shall be 2 15-minute half with 5 minutes each rest in between. And the last rule is this, the side making the most goals and that time shall be declared the winner. So these rules, I know you're all hearing it. Some of you all hearing it for the first time. Some of you all probably just know doubling, traveling, and out of bounds and the simple rules. But I just like to go through the rules now so you have a better understanding, because when we actually start to play the game, right, I find just knowing the rules is one thing, but when you actually play the game, you get to understand the rules a lot better, right? So it's okay if you don't like pick up on the rules now, because when you're actually playing the game, you get to understand it even more. So I also have this video here. I'm going to show you all. It will give you a better understanding as well of the rules. Right? So let me see, make sure just let me know once yeah, seeing and everything. You all seeing my screen?
How to play basketball.
You all seeing, right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Play basketball. Basketball is a team sport of up to 15 players, with only 5 allowed on the court at any time. Each team consists of 2 forwards or tip-off. The referee throws the ball into the air in the center circle, and one player from each team leaps up and tries to tap the ball away. The game time is split up into 4 12-minute quarters. The object of the game is to throw the ball into the hoop to score points. Basketball court. The court is divided into 2 main sections by the middle court line. The court is rectangular in shape and measures 91 feet long by 50 feet wide. There is a halfway line in which a small circle is found in the center. This is where the game starts. At each end of the court are 2 baskets, both 10 feet in height. A 3-point arc is in the outside ring. In the middle of the outside ring is the key, which includes a free throw line. Basketball basic rules. Each team can have a maximum of 5 players on the court at a time. Teams can substitute players as many times as they wish throughout the game. Players cannot kick the ball. Players cannot dribble or hit the ball with their fist. Players cannot double dribble the ball. Players cannot hold the ball and stay in the backcourt that contains their basket for more than 8 seconds. Players cannot step on a foul line while free throwing the ball. Players cannot step on the end or sideline while passing the ball to a teammate. Players cannot throw the ball out of the court boundaries. The ball must stay within the boundaries. If the team loses the ball out of bounds, the other team gets control of the basketball. After the ball goes into a team's half and they win possession back, the ball must then make it back over the half line within 10 seconds. If the ball fails to do so, then a foul will be called and the ball will be turned over. Dribbling the ball. The ball can only be moved by either dribbling or passing the ball. The player must dribble the ball with one hand while moving both feet. If at any time both hands touch the ball or the player stops dribbling, the player must only move one foot. Once a player puts 2 hands on the ball, not including catching the ball, they cannot then dribble or move with the ball, and the ball must be passed or shot. Double dribbling. Once any player has stopped dribbling, they cannot start another dribble right away. This is called for a double dribbling violation, and in this case, the other team gains control of the ball. A player can only start another dribble after another player from either team touches or gains control of the basketball. This is usually after a shot or pass. Carrying the ball. The player's hand must be on top of the ball while dribbling. If they touch the bottom of the ball while dribbling and continue, the player will lose the ball to the other team. Backcourt violation. Once the attacking team crosses the half court, they may not go back into the backcourt. This
Not too sure why it's sticking. Guess it's the internet or something. My computer is usually most slow. Sorry about that.
takes too many steps without dribbling the ball is called traveling. If this happened, the ball is then turned over to the opposition. 3 in the key. A player cannot stay in the key, which is this section of the court, for more than 3 seconds. This is called 3 seconds in the key violation. Shot clock violation. Once a player has possession of the ball, the player has 24 seconds to shoot towards the opponent's basket. Failing to shoot the ball within 24 seconds results in a shot clock violation. The ball is then turned over to the opposition. Throwing. If a team or player violates any of the rules, the team loses the ball and the ball is handed over to the opponent team. The opponent team throws in from the sideline. This is called a throw-in. Goaltending. No player can touch the basketball while it's traveling downward towards the basket, or if it's on the rim. This is called goaltending. After each successful basket, the ball is then turned over to the opposition. Charging violation. A charge, or player control foul, occurs when a dribbler charges into a defender who has already established his position. This is called charging violation. The ball is then turned over to the opposition. Free throw. Fouls committed throughout the game will be accumulated. and then when reached a certain number, will be eventually awarded as a free throw. The player whose against the foul was committed takes the shot unopposed from the free throw line. The number of free throws will depend on where the foul was committed. Scoring. There are 3 scoring numbers. Points being
All right, I pause it here. We'll stick in.
points being scored. Baskets scored within the 3-point arc will result in 2 points being scored. Successful free throws will result in 1 point being scored per free throw. How to win a game. The team that scores more points in the allotted game time will win the game. If the scores are tied at the end, then an extra quarter will be played until a winner is found.
All right.
If you like the video, hit the like button.
And that is basically it for basketball. All right. In terms of the rule, again, as I said before, this is basically an introduction to how the game came about, and some of the rules. However, I do not expect everyone to fully understand the rules as yet. So if you still don't understand most of the rules, if you pick up about 3 of the rules, that is great. Because when we actually play in the game and you actually get our hands-on into the game and understanding the game better, when you're actually playing, you will understand the rules way easier. Because I don't expect you to understand it now and you haven't played the game, right? So once you start playing, you'll get a better understanding. But let me get a little feedback from you all. You all out of 13 of the rules, how much you all think you remember? Anyone? Give me a little feedback. Let me know how much you think you will remember or fun. Jarrell, Devika, Aliyah, anyone? How much you think you might remember out of the 13 rules? How much? 5, 10, 1? It's okay, be honest.
About 7.
7? Wow. That's excellent. All right, but I'll probably play basketball as well. So to be honest, I know most people when they usually start the game, they may just know the traveling rule. They might know the double thing. How much points to win the game, and out of bounds. About 4 they usually know. That is normal form 3, form 2s, and whatnot. And when they actually start playing the game, then they pick up the others and they pick it up quite quickly. All right, so I don't expect you all to know all, but as we go along, you will understand it. And now I'm going to take you all to the assignments. Any questions so far? I have one more slide, and that's to recap. So we're just going to explain a little assignment I have for you all. So this assignment I have for you all, it comprises of you getting a computer page or a Bristol board, piece of a Bristol board. It don't have to be big. It could be the size of a notebook, right? And what I want you all to do is create a poster on basketball, right? It could be on basketball rules. It could be on basketball terminology, like the terms I have here. Like you could make a poster just like this, and you put like carrying, steal, traveling, double dribble, rebound, foul throw, or put a line across, or you can do the poster on the field. Everybody will be marked the same. So if you want to do it on the terminology, no problem. If you want to do it on the rules, not a problem. If you want to do it on the court, like the labeling the court, like the baseline, the sideline, the free throw line, the 3-point line, the key, all that, I don't mind. So because remember in our next class, we will be talking about the field layout and the court layout and all those things. So this assignment is just to create a poster. You're taking a page and you're being creative. You could even use Microsoft Word online and submit it to me, or you could use you can take a picture from Google and edit it. But I prefer you not try not to do that because that'll be too much copyright, and I don't like to see people just take someone work and put their name on it. So I rather you all come up with your own thing. However, if you want, you could take out like little animation from online and put it into your drawing or your creation. Everyone clear with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will send out a little rubric on how I'm marking it, right? And so you'll have an idea on exactly how to create your basketball court or your basketball poster. Everyone clear? Everyone have an idea? You all know what you're going to do?
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask someone. Kaijal, how you think you're going to do your poster? On what? The rules?
So I'm gonna do mine on the rules. So I'm gonna like do
The
put
right,
in a kind of the basketball hoop and put some of the rules and thing.
right. And you could also like put, let's say you're doing traveling, you could put like someone doing, you could draw someone holding the ball, right? And you could put a line over it to show like no traveling or something. All right, so you could draw just like this, and you be creative. We all just be creative. I'm marking most and importantly, creativity. All right, and for our last slide here now, I'm just going to recap of the main objective of the lesson, right? Of how basketball came out, who invented it, and whatnot, right? So I'm just going to recap it. Seeing that I already assessed you all, and most of you all did great in the Kahoots. So I'm just going to go over the lesson, and you all could take notes as well, right? So to recap the lesson, basketball. Basketball was invented by doctor, and please don't leave out the doctor if you all have to fill it in a short answer. So basketball was invented by Dr. James Nathan Smith in the year 1891. So if you know you make that mistake before, include it. 1891. At first, the game was played with a soccer ball and a pitch basket, right? But until 1894, the first basketball was created. And I know a lot of you all get this wrong. So 1894 was when the first basketball created, right? After that, there was original basketball rules, right? There was 13 original basketball rules that came about. And they also talk about the basket was closed at the bottom and they had to use a ladder to fetch the ball, right? Basketball then entered the Olympics in the 1936, right? And I also want you all to know, well, if you go back to the slide, you'll see exactly about the backboard, about the size of the ball, the year the ball was created, the year the game was created, the man named Dr. James Arthur Smith, and all these little things, right? And I have a little fun fact for you all here. Um, did you all know that basketball causes more injuries than any other professional sports beside American football? So I'm assuming most of you all did injuries already, correct? The topic of injuries, or currently doing that right now,
Yes, sir.
right? And I show you up the P teacher or who had taught you before me, probably tell you that how a lot of the injuries has been on basketball. You all know that, or first time you all hearing this? Anyone?
Yes, sir, we know that.
All right, well, all right. Basketball tend to have a lot of injuries, especially with the ankle. A lot of people have the inversion, the eversion, um, twist ankle, strain. Some people even broke their shin bone as well because most of the thing in basketball is basically jumping. Right, and when they jump in, they usually land. Remember, their focus when they jump is basically to get that ball in the hoop, you know. And sometimes they don't really take on how they land, and how they land sometimes is broken ankle. The ankle twists it completely break out. It's horrible, right? And if you notice something, I'm sure you all will understand this even better now, right? I'm sure most of you all, the fellas, have those Jordan shoes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. And the Jordan shoes and all these things, right? How it is makeup? And is makeup like a high cut where it cover your ankle?
Yeah.
Right. Anyone can tell me why that makeup that way? Why you think it makeup like that to cover your ankle? What is the reason for that? For style or why? Let me see if you all
I
know.
don't know.
All right, let me tell you why. You see, our normal shoes will be right under the ankle, and our Jordan or Shaq or those basketball shoes that cover straight up to the ankle and had the lacing straight up. The reason for that is that the shoes act as a support. So when you, let's say your foot like this, right, and the shoes there is actually cover your entire ankle. So that way when the lace tighten, it gives your foot a little support. I sure some of you will probably get an injury in football and you have to wear ankle brace or something. It's be like a little cloth over your ankle, right? The shoes literally, or those who know the Converse, the high cut Converse, that give you a little ankle support. So that's why basketballers have all those little things, because a lot of the injuries occur at the ankle. Right? So just want you all to know that. And anyone have any questions to me?
No,
Any
sir.
any more questions? So you all clear? You all have no questions at all, right?
No.
Right? So if there is no more question there, I will gonna end the class now. Right?